Hey, 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 welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me at True Divine 44. You can also get me at True Divine 44 on Bitchute, YouTube, and I'm adding others as we speak. I'll always be putting them in the description box, so check them out. As far as Instagram and Twitter, like, share, subscribe, follow, or whatever you do there, that would really be appreciated also. Share the content over there too. And anything helps, and you all are helping, so thank you. And this is my way of doing what I'm led to do, doing what I know as part of what I'm here to do, and giving people daily tarot stroke energy readings to help navigate the energies within you, around you, and within others. Take what resonates as it is general, and leave what does not. No offense will be taken. This is, and of course, leave a comment. I always appreciate the comments and eventually get back to them. So feeling a little bit better today. I was ropey yesterday, but we got through the Wayne Steiger. Check him out if you haven't already. He is a professor of everything, but in super knowledge of the occult, super knowledge of the hidden, and in freeing people's minds. Excellent. He hosts a tarot night where people can get free readings just by going into the chat every Friday. So I got through that okay, and I'm feeling a bit better today. So things are lifting. So thank you for all of that energy and get well wishes. So this is for the 28th. I'm figuring this is the last day of this month. The 28th of February 2021, and we have got interesting. And so we've got on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Swords. So this speaks to the very invigorated energy, very how to say the word, like very enthusiastic energy. And it's all about intellect, thought-provoking things, wisdom, learning. And we see that this energy will go to no ends, have all-nighters, studying, getting deep into information, data, information, gathering up of knowledge and gathering up of texts, words, and then putting them through their thoughts. And so this is a very enthusiastic energy. It'll go to no ends to discover the truth, to create their own truth. So it's a beautiful energy, air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, what's the other one, Libra, very enthusiastic for intelligence, for knowledge, for wisdom. And so we have today, with that energy, there's much to learn, there's opportunities to learn, there's great strides can be made in putting puzzles together, creating a thought pattern that works, either for yourself individually or on the collective stage, certain things just seeping out, or certain people being able to catch certain parts of knowledge that is seeped out from the stage in order to be able to say, I know what is happening here now, I know what they said these words and this means this. And so this is super exciting. It's an excitable energy, enthusiastic energy. Be sure if you're around people that aren't in this energy today, step away from them, go and do your own thing, because you'll frustrate the hell out of them, and they'll probably frustrate the hell out of you. So go into your intellectual journey. If you're around people today that you can converse with and share knowledge with, share ideas, dialogue, then you're going to have a great day, because you can bounce things off each other, and it feeds that energy, that wanting for information, and being able to put together pathways, thought pathways that work, and taking in other people's opinions and other people's learned opinion. So we've got on the bottom of the other deck, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So this speaks of working together, having a team, being able to work with people who are like-minded, who have different skill sets, but can all bring something to the table or to the project or to the conversation that really does pad it out, create it to be even better, even even of a wider spectrum, even of a more interesting spectrum. There's this togetherness, teamwork, this energy. So it might be that if that resonates with you, that on your travels today, because you're embodying the energy of this Page of Swords, that you actually attract into the physical, the pentacle, the reality world, actually people who are of the same mind, of like mind. And that's a great feeling for everybody, even people who like to have alone time. Predominantly when they only like to have alone time because they haven't met the people who they can really be themselves around and really put their skills to good use alongside other people's skills to good use. And so there's this energy that you're attracting in, you're magnetizing these people that you can be comfortable and be in your space with, but also enjoy their space and their knowledge and what they bring to the physical. And so that's a super nice combination. So be the magnet. If you're feeling lonely in your endeavors for knowledge and truth, do a quick meditation today regarding this, attracting in people who you can really be yourself with, who you can really get into deep conversation with, who you can have light conversation with, who you can actually create things with. That's super important, to create those teams, to start creating almost tribes again. So we're not just all focused on the individual journey. We're able to do this individual journey whilst being the herd animals that we predominantly are, and having that herd, having that trusted herd that has your back and you have theirs, is a beautiful thing. And so we've got the High Priestess as the first card in the layout. And this is, you can see the yin, the yang symbol here, and you can see the world on the other side here, the moon in the middle. Now the moon in the middle on this side is the Taurus horns. It's the feminine, it's the divine feminine energy, the cow. And so this is where this is creating this divine feminine energy like no other in High Priestess. And so it represents the veil between the conscious, the physical world, and the subconscious, the divinities, the divine feminine, divine masculine, the yin, the yang, the balance of that. And so we see with this dragon card here, you can just see she's got this cup, and it's quite an etherical cup. It's almost see-through, and you can see this rainbow here. Now, of course, we know the rainbow's been hijacked from those in elite circles and on the ground of very sick things. But the rainbow is very ancient, even in the Viking knowledge, the Ragnarok, the end, the tree. There's this rainbow which is representative of this transference of energy into the spirit, and you have to leave the physical to be able to enter into this rainbow fully. To be able to transfer your energy. And it's the rainbow because it is your color spectrum, your chakra spectrum being transferred into the other worlds. And so this rainbow should not be allowed to be hijacked. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a rainbow, yes, but it's representative of a very, if you want to call it scientific thing, very etherical thing, very spirituality thing. It's very ancient in a lot of different areas. You can see the representation of the rainbow being the transference of energy from other worlds to other worlds. And so it's representative of leaving the physical to explore the hidden, the subconscious. And this is the High Priestess is veiled. She is the hidden. She is the occult, and it's and she almost is veiled completely to those who aren't in or on the right level spiritually. They're not on the right level. They haven't got that knowledge, or they would want to damage it. And so she stays sort of hidden, hazed out a bit, because they just can't see her, because they would want to do harm to that divine feminine energy. and plus it would harm them because she has the deep secrets. She holds the occult, the hidden, the other worlds. And so this divine feminine energy is asking you to enter into your own wisdom, enter into your spirit self, and explore there and keep exploring there. And so you can, when you bring it into the physical with the Empress card, which is the card after this in the Major Arcana, that's when you bring the three, you bring in the Trinity into the physical. But you've already explored the hidden of self, the hidden of societies, the hidden of hidden societies, hidden clubs, the what's going on under the veil and understanding it. And it's a lot about understanding and exploring occult symbolism, hidden symbolism, i.e. we see these symbols here, there and everywhere, and they're pre-programming a lot of people because they hold a frequency. They're powerful symbols because they hold a frequency, and you can put your intent behind them. So if you are not aware of the High Priestess energy, you are absorbing that frequency still. So you're still being very much controlled by those types of frequencies. You go into Newcastle City Centre, you look at the buildings. I see all of this symbolism that is very, very powerful on certain buildings that I know it's not there for good intent. That doesn't mean the symbol is bad. It just means the intent behind it and the harnessing of it is bad. And people are walking by not noticing what is above their heads, what is watching over them as they enter into a door of a very old building in Newcastle, what kind of energy, what kind of frequency they're being automatically they're absorbing. And so this knowledge lets you harness that, lets you recognize that. And I call these symbols upon me. I see them and I say, I know that there's intent that can be used for good and bad in all things. And I know that the good of this symbol is very, very powerful. And I harness the good of this symbol and bind the hidden intent of bad of this symbol. And I'll cover everybody in the building. You know, I can't help it. Bind up the frequency of lower frequency bad intent and put out my intent through those symbols. But it's because I've done some of the work, the High Priestess work, and it's never ending, I feel. But I've been there, I go there every day into this hidden, into this divine feminine energy. And with that comes wisdom, with that comes power, with that comes knowledge, and you can use it in the physical world. Often there's pomegranates over the High Priestess in some cards, and that's to say this divine feminine, fertile, full of wisdom energy is veiled by these pomegranates. It's sweet and beautiful to look at, but you haven't got a clue how powerful the hidden is behind that veil. And this is where there's a lot of energy today, particularly in the females, and for the males to recognize, but across the board, everybody, in that there's this awakening that is happening of the divine feminine. And it's not that the divine feminine energy itself ever fully went to sleep, but I feel it was put to sleep predominantly in this dimension, in this reality. We have the sleeping goddesses, the statues all over the place of these huge sleeping giant goddesses. And that has been because our consciousness, we got too complacent and we let go. We were psyopsed into letting go through organized religion predominantly at first, then politics, then law, then corporatization. You know, females have to fight to be able to work into those. But, you know, this is the hidden of the divine feminine, because with that, they took a lot of power away from the collective. So if you're thinking about this energy, the High Priestess energy, and it's helpful to put a type of name to it to be able to focus that in on yourself, or start to research the hidden meanings and the hidden knowledge of these particular goddesses. We've got the ancient Egyptian goddess of Isis. We've got the ancient Greek goddess Persephone. We've got Eve even. We've got the Lilith energy. And so there is this huge awakening of the goddess, but it's within the consciousness of the collective. And this is good news, but this is going to cause shakeups. The divine feminine energy is powerful. There's a reason they've worked so hard to put it in a jar, and just keep it there and veil it as something completely different in the representation of how historically in our timeline, in our dimension, females have been treated, that there was a fight, to be recognized, to be able to have the same rights and privileges. And so this still goes on, but they've just done it in various different ways now, of making it look shiny, making it look like freedom, when actually it's still putting the feminine into a very small box, when it's a kind of energy that cannot be boxed. So this is coming in real strong. So connect in with that if you feel led to, because I guarantee you'll have some serious journeys of your subconscious and serious realizations of your true self, your true powers. Whether you are male or female, I urge you, if you feel led to really go down this rabbit hole, really transfer yourself through that rainbow and let your energy be deposited in these different realms of self, and then expand that out into the knowledge of the divine feminine, and look deeper than what we are just told on the surface. Dig deeper in the dark, and the dark woman manifest, so to speak. And so we've got, and that's the number 2 major arcana. I think I've said everything about that. It is a cauldron. It is a cauldron. She's holding the scroll of knowledge, and it is a cauldron that this rainbow is going into. And so this is the dark depiction of the dark womb and the dark place, and that's where your light, but it's not dark really, because this rainbow is going into it. Your chakra system, your full spectrum can go into this and explore these other worlds, and the 2 pillars behind the 2 pillars of knowledge, the light and the dark. And we've got the page of, is it the page? Yeah, it's the page of wands to clarify the high priestess. And so this is a very, we've got the page of swords here on the bottom of the deck. We've got the page of wands here. And so this is very children love to explore, don't they? They can make games of anything to explore themselves. Even you hear them talking to themselves. They're a different character. They're embodying a different character. William does it quite a bit still, but he does it in an older boys comedy. And then I've got Theodore, who you hear chuntering on in different accents, even really getting into these different characters, and he's there, he's in it. That's his reality for now. He can see things flying at him that he's dodging, and it's as real as can be, that he'll actually sometimes hurt himself because he'll hurl himself away from something that he's dodging, a big rock, or so they get right into it. So it's this energy that really does serve you. And there's a lot of texts that talk about be like the child, be the child, serve your inner child, look after your inner child, explore your inner child. And that's because the inner child is excitable. The inner child is willing to go to places and willing to get deep into it. You've got these kids that there can be nothing in the room, and they enter a different world, and it's through their imagination. We can't see it, it's there hidden, but it's as real as can be for them. And that actually develops their knowledge in the physical, because they are depicting these characters. They come out with different words, they explore their vocabulary more, and they can actually embody some of these characters when they come back to being the child, the Theodore, or whatever child it is. And so to be like this today really does serve. You're doing lots of what would seem like adult things, but children are much closer to this rainbow naturally than people like to recognize, because the veil isn't there to them. Their imagination is bright and bold to them, and right on tap. And this is the energy of the pages. And the page of wands is very mutable, very explorative. Yes, they'll have an agenda as to where he wants to end up on, but he takes in all of the elements. He takes in the wind, and doesn't mind taking a few different avenues. It just adds to the exploration, it adds to the experience. And so this would represent with the High Priestess that you go into your subconscious, you go into the hidden without judgment on self. So like a child, without judging themselves or worried about being judged, you get right into that character. Or that you go in without limitations, you know, to be able to not be tunnel visioned. This page is not tunnel visioned, it's looking around everywhere, you know, it's taking in everything, taking in the sights along the way, taking in the people and characters that pop up along the way. And it's very mutable, it's fire, and it's passionate, it's driven. And so we've got two pages here that are very driven in their energy, and it really is good to be driven to the subconscious here, to then bring that back to the conscious, to the physical. That would be a really good use of today's energy. In whichever way you perform that, it's a good use of today's energy. Then we've got the Page of Cups. I didn't see that before. We've got the Page of Cups. And so this is yet another page. And so the more childlike you can be today, the more adult knowledge you're going to get, the more knowledge that you can use in your physical reality is going to, you know, be emphasized so much. And so this Page of Cups is very loving, very compassionate, loving of life, loving of people, loving of animals. And so all of those things, if you can incorporate this childlike energy and really fall in love with today, really fall in love with yourself today and the people around you, the things that you see, you're going to really do well energetically. And it's going to really do more than you can see initially and more than you can know initially for what you then attract in into your adult physical reality. So it's a superb tip for being immature, for making yourself laugh, for making yourself smile, for comedy, for just not having an agenda of the day, just allowing that flow to happen and entering into your imagination without limitation, without suppression or oppression, just allowing yourself to be you. I love going around with chalk. I'll video it sometime. I need 1,000 subscribers before I can go live via my phone, which is ridiculous, but I do. So help me out there, because I'd love to do some walkabouts and things, because I hand out chalk. I hand it out to the skip men when I go to the skip, and they love it. And I ask people to write something, and I can't be arrested for it. I've been pulled for it before by a police officer, and I'm like, it's chalk, rain will take it away, they can't do nothing. But I'll write down, you know, be happy, or you are beautiful, or you are amazing, you look great today, and I'll just write it down in big letters on the path or on the wall. Because I think that graffiti is powerful, and actually graffiti can be beautiful. And we see people that are trying to get the word out through graffiti, but we could make graffiti something beautiful. But I'm not willing to get arrested just yet. I've got too many things to do. And so, you know, they can't do anything about chalk, and I can put something positive in their mind, rather than them seeing all of these negative things on newspapers as they get on the bus, you know, the pile of free newspapers that you get, and rather than seeing negative things through the news or listening to something negative, or maybe just walking away from somebody having had negative words put over them. I like the fact that people look and without even thinking, just like those symbols all around town, I like the fact that I put my symbols down, my words down, to say you're beautiful, by the way. And because it's out the blue, it goes straight through them like an arrow. It gets there, and they don't quite know what to do about it. And so it's a powerful and very simple and very childlike way to spread that to spread that that frequency out there, and to uplift somebody on that day. Theodore and William love doing it. William gets a little bit embarrassed. He's such a conformist. But Theodore loves doing it. And of course, Abby does anything like that. She doesn't care what anyone thinks. So it's really things like that. The most simple things can bring the most powerful things today. We've got the two of Cups, to clarify, this has kept coming up, of course, within yourself. This is the divine feminine, divine masculine balance. Within looking outside of self, this is where if you go within and create understanding and wholeness within self, that means you're coming at 100% to the physical world. That means you're coming as a whole person. You've got wholeness. And so this is where you actually can attract in somebody else who is of that same path, that they've gone within, that they've done the work to be whole. And so it's 100% approaching each other. And that makes yet another whole, but it's a stronger whole. But the two individuals as themselves remain whole and still work on doing that. And so it's a great energy today that if you are incorporate in this inner work, and this is something that you actually would desire, that this is a great day for you to put that out there, for you to, I don't know, do some fun, childlike, but, you know, adult ritualistic ceremony, you know, write down on a piece of paper who you are and what your inner world represents and what you'd like to attract in a partner on your outer world, in your outer, your physical reality. Write that down. Do whatever you're led to do. You know, you could sleep with that under your pillow and just make sure you meditate on that a couple of minutes before you go to sleep. You could even burn that and put it out into the ether and say that, right, okay, that is it now, that is done. I'm just going to keep doing me and attract this in. Anything like that, that's going to work. That's going to bring power to it. It brings your intent into the 0 point focus. And so this is where you start, like a magnet, attracting in similar frequency, people who are on the same frequency. And so that's a beautiful energy, especially coupled with the Page of Cups. Love is a huge thing. Love is so serious. It is so abundant. It is so powerful. And it's a serious thing that then we take too seriously, in that, like a child knows exactly what they want when they want to cuddle, when they want to be kissed, when they want to have something, you know, their knee rubbed when they've fallen down. They know exactly what they want, and because without question they know that, they attract it in predominantly. You know, a parent or a carer or a big sister or brother, uncle, aunt can't help but, you know, just rub that knee before the child even requests it verbally. And so this Page of Cups energy is very like that. They know the impact and the importance of love, but, you know, it's not making it into this serious game of, oh, well, you know, they have to earn such and such amount. Let's be real, a lot of people are going to fall off that ladder over the last couple of years for a little while. Or they have to have this certain car. It's like, no. Love is so much more simplistic but important than that. It's so much more than that. It's you can't put love into words. You can say certain words in a certain time during a certain loving moment that depicts the love that you have for this person. But if you were to look within and say, I want to really word everything that I feel about this person or this child that I just adore, that I just love, you cannot do it. It's everything. And so it's overwhelming. And so this is where the childlike focus of that is, that you don't start questioning, well, how will this happen? How will I meet this person? How will I do? It's just that intent put out there, and this focus point of whatever ritual you choose to bring your consciousness in subconscious into conscious focus, that 0 point, to put it out there. And that magnetization is starting to pull that person in that is of the same frequency as you. I love the cat here in this card, just quickly. There's a cat there. Now, I love cats. My mum used to always rescue cats. And so I've helped her with that from being a kid. And we'd find them good homes, or a lot of them were on death's door and didn't survive, but they were treated very nicely. And that's what I was taught by my mum, that, you know, you don't just, death isn't the end. We make sure that the transition is good. We make sure that this kitten is well looked after, is loved and cherished, and then is released beautifully. And so that was a huge lesson for me. as a child about death and about the transference of that energy and the importance of that kitten knew that death was coming. You know, it felt poorly, but you know, it didn't, that didn't mean that we just wrote it off to be in suffering. We just knew that this was part of that energy story, and you know, that it had to be, that it was our responsibility to not just write it off because the catastrophe was coming, but to make sure that that kitten, that energy, that being would truly enjoyed its life and truly was loved and knew what it was to be loved, rather than have cruelty put upon it, no matter how many days or weeks that was, or months. So, but cats, I know cats very well, to say that. And cats, I love cats. I love their arrogance. I love their cheeky nature. And that when they want love, they just have a certain look or a certain way of sitting on you that makes you sit still. You're not going to move that cat. You start stroking it and you realize you've got to stop because you've got to get things done. But that cat doesn't release you. And then as soon as the cat's gotten the love that it needs, it usually just, it'll release you by saying, yep, enough, and getting up and moving, or like, yep, I'm stopping purring now. But that purring, it's a focus point of intent. It draws people in to not being able to help, but want to hear that purr, that content nature more. And so this is what I feel this cat-like energy is in there. Without question, you attract in wholeness. We've been conditioned to think that, you know, through movies and through how love is supposed to look, and, you know, the story, the cheating, all of this, that, you know, that this is how love has to be. It's so complicated. No, love is so pure, and we need to be raising the bar a little bit to be attracting in other pure energies, other whole energies, without question, just like the cat. So we've got the Two of Pentacles. So we've got 2 2s, 3 2s. So 2 2 2, the High Priestess, the 2 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles here. So this is 2 parts of your reality that you're juggling. In this card, there's one above and one below that is depicted. It speaks of also this, one dragon's holding one world and the other dragon's holding the other world. This could be how yourself, you have to put yourself into different worlds almost in your physical reality, that you go to a certain workplace and you feel like you're having to juggle there because it's you're having to do things, especially right now, that don't match up to what you're knowing, what your wisdom, what your consciousness would want to do or be like. It doesn't marry up, so you're juggling that, or that you're juggling 2 senses of your reality amongst people within your reality, that you've got your one person in this world of your physical reality, and you have to be another person in this world of your physical reality. And that's good for a time in certain circumstances, but juggling, you get tired. And if you continue juggling too long, it's a little bit like continuing to play a gambling game too long. You're going to trip up, you're going to lose everything that you've won, and you're going to end up dropping a pentacle. And so this is where, if you can't marry the 2 physical realities that you are sort of juggling in your physical reality, this is a time for you to really focus in on that intent I've just been talking about, and create a brave, full attempt on one reality that really does resonate with you and who you really are, where you're not having to compromise yourself and your feelings, your resonance quite so much. So this does speak of moving away from certain things for a lot of people, and that's because we've got the 3. So we've got 2 3s, 2 with the 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here, and the 3 of Swords to clarify this 2 of Pentacles. It's hurting you. It's hurting you not only in the physical, but in your mental. And we've got the subconscious, the mental here, and the mental here with the Page of Swords. It's hurting you because you're it's almost like sacrificing a part of yourself to maintain these two different selves and these two different realities. And actually, a lot of you may be doing this for somebody or something that is not of service to you, that is not really your friend, that is using you to do this without discrimination, to get what they want. And you can see this snake emerging from this shield and these guys falling on their swords. And that's a saying, isn't it? Yeah, I'll fall on my sword for you. And so there may be a false sense of loyalty here, and you are working real hard to serve that false sense of loyalty. And that's where the pentacle will drop when you see this snake. The sun is behind them, beating on their back. They're not looking towards the sun, and this is a slithery little hidden, you know. And this is where your divine feminine energy comes in, to be able to, the other meanings of the high priestess is to use your intuition. The much more ancient goddesses of the snake bird goddesses were able, and that's still depicted if you look, you know, the eagle, the snake on the, you know, those are depicted everywhere. And so the intuition, being led by your intuition, is very, very important here, rather than what you're being shown. You know, if you have the feeling that this is happening to you, then this is happening to you. And I would not advise that you fall on your sword for this thing, these people, this person, for anything. And it may be that, you know, you would get called for saying, well, no, that hasn't happened yet. But if you've had a vision of it happening and you've already had an intuition about it happening, then the high priestess would tell you it has happened then. You have traveled on that rainbow to some part of your subconscious to see a conscious part of self that is happening or going to happen. And it's time that we get brave enough to be led by our intuition in a much more big way. And so this is unfortunate, but for a lot of you, you need to hear this. There's no, we've been indoctrinated into this thing in a huge way about the energy, the power of falling on your sword. Oh, how brave! Oh, how. And it's like, oh, it's just a waste. It's a waste of life. It's a waste of your divinity, your sovereignty. It's a waste. You're falling on your sword. Do you really know what you're falling on your sword for? No. You can't enter into their subconscious. You can't know completely, you know, what they want from you. Don't fall on your sword. So this juggling, though, the reason you're feeling this juggling, if this resonates with you, is because your intuition is letting you know that you're juggling a pentacle, you're juggling two hot potatoes. One of them is very, very hot. One of them is the Three of Swords, one which causes great heartache, great pain, great dismay, and great wounds. And so this is where also the high priestess would help you look within to see why this has been attracted into your life, why this has been accepted into your life, at what step, what seed was within your deep subconscious that allows you to be treated this way, and allows you to have to work 10 times harder to even juggle this way. So yeah, doing the high priestess work and doing it in a very childlike but very cat-like focused way, you know, is super important, because it leads to adult resolutions. It leads to you saving yourself from a very adult situation that is going to hurt a lot if it's allowed to continue. And attracting in people who resonate with you with this Three of Pentacles, rather than juggling for the Three of Swords, where you're going to be expected to fall on your sword, and the people that you thought had your back are coming for you. It's a heavy card, but it's avoidable, because you've got your tarot weather girl telling you it's happening. And if you've already had this intuition that it's happening, then I'm just confirming it even more so, and confirming the power of that divine feminine energy, that you do not need to question your intuition, and you can take action and be brave enough to take action. So that is a good thing. So that's the reading for the 28th of February 2021. I appreciate you all listening to me ramble on. I hope this helps you reach your highest potentials. I hope this helps you avoid the little snakes in the grass that are making you juggle and juggle hard. And I hope this releases you into your full 0 point intent, where you can truly focus on what is going to be good for you, what you require, what you deserve in every kind of abundance, whatever it might be. I really do appreciate you. Much love, much balance, and much wholeness. Mwah.